up, internet? It's the Cherry Crew. Yeah. We're coming at you with another story time. You might not know this about Kate and I, but we both went to the same middle school. We didn't know each other in middle school. We went to the same middle school.
When she was in 6th grade, I was in 8th grade.
And we were both in choir too.
We crossed paths
many times, but we didn't become friends until high school. It was the end of high school for you, but it was the middle of high school for me. We're gonna call her Miss Ostrich, I think.
Miss Ostrich, because she wasn't married.
No, she wasn't married.
And you'll see why. I guess I'll start with the fact that Miss Ostrich was not a likable person. She was very uptight, very strict. Everybody in the choir department didn't like her. So my brother actually had her, I have an older brother, and he had her before the first year that she started teaching at that school. He had her. Basically, I'm starting with this because we're going in order. My brother was sick of her shit. She had a huge thing of like, when you are at a choir concert, keep your hands down at your sides.
Welcome to Germany.
That's what she wanted it to be like.
Yeah, it was pretty accurate. My brother wanted to ruin things for her. Choir concerts, she was just like, you need hands down at your sides, no waving at your family, no like, Mom, get me out of this choir class! None of that. Basically, my brother fucked all of that up, and he did a whole thing of like waving, like he took both his hands and he was just like, Mom, over here! Like in the middle of a song, he was like in the middle row. He just kind of like ducked down and like disappeared behind like the first row of people, and then started like crawling around through, and then he popped up on the other side. She was just like pretty fed up. That was something that happened, and then 3 years later, I show up.
Innocent kid. Just an innocent kid.
You know I'm far from that. 6th grade, I walk up to her and I'm just like, hi, I'm Kate. And she's just like, oh, hi. And I'm just like, yeah, Matt blah blah. I'm not telling you my last name, fucking perverts. Matt blah blah was my brother. She just kind of looks at me like, here we go again. It's like, I won't be as bad as him, and that was a lie. I was not as bad as him, but like, I wasn't ideal. I don't know how to describe it. You know how in most classes, like, you can state your opinions and talk like a normal person? She wasn't having any of that. She was very quick to, if you said anything, like when she didn't want you to, and you couldn't tell when she didn't want you to, because there would be some times when like the other kids in class would like say something and she'd just be like, oh yeah,
it's so cute, so charming.
Oh man, I love children. There'd be times where people would say
like the exact same thing.
They were like something similar, and she'd just be like, she would stare and she'd just be like, see me after class. It was a certain type of stare. She didn't say it right away. She wouldn't just be like, see me after class. She would have to stare at you and make eye contact for like 5 seconds. Sometimes I would and sometimes I wouldn't, because I had places to be.
I came along as a little 6th grader, and I was just kind of like, hey, I'm here, and I love to sing, and I love theater, and
well, no, because that's fucked up.
Here's the thing with Miss Ostrich. She would like act like she was super nice to the 6th graders when they first came in, so they'd want to take choir, and she'd be like, oh, come on, we're all friends here, everyone loves their lives here. And then always the older kids are like, get out while you still can. Always the 6th graders like, why, she's so nice, and it's like,
oh, I knew right off the bat she wasn't, because I had an older brother telling me all this shit. Some of them didn't. They didn't have older siblings to warn them about the horrors.
I am the oldest kid, so I'm the experimental child. Then 7th grade came along. Just putting it out here, 7th grade was like a year from hell. I think that's like the worst year of school for everybody. But for me, it was just really bad. It was just bad on every level. I just hated life so much. Anyway, that got depressing.
We're all depressed here in the Cherry Crew.
Miss Ostrich had this honors choir that was called High C. It was funny. It was funny.
But not really. It would have been clever if she hadn't come up with it.
She came up with this honors choir and I auditioned and I got in, and so it was like an extracurricular club that I was a part of. And I was also a part of the school dance team. I talked about them briefly in a video way back, like freaking back in the olden days.
I'll get a link in the description.
But anyway, this dance team, we were kind of like the island of misfit toys. Girls would just like eat snacks and stuff while they're dancing.
You said that they pulled licorice out of their bra
and started eating it while they're like twirling. They're just like, wee. I loved it because I loved the teacher, Miss Tilly. We're gonna call her Miss Tilly. She just like put so much like love into this team of people who did not give a flying shit about much. Most of the time, the dance team practices and the choir practices didn't overlap, but one time they did. We were doing a big performance for us. Our club had just been created. We were kind of like the wrestlerettes from the middle.
Hit it!
Us. We were gonna do this assembly and it was gonna be great.
That was cool, Cass.
Miss Ostrich was like, that needs to be stopped. She sends someone from my high C choir to come up with like tears streaming down her eyes, being like, Miss Ostrich wants you to come to choir practice. And I'm just
what
like,
did she do to that girl?
I told her that we would be splitting up the practice time. It was right before our big show and it was important to us. We already had like discussed this over email. She had like agreed to it.
All about Miss Ostrich.
It is all about Miss Ostrich. So Miss Tilly is like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to her. So Miss Tilly goes down to Miss Ostrich's lair.
And Miss Tilly was never heard from again.
I'm just kidding, no, she's heard from again. She came up and told me, go down by Miss Ostrich, and I was like,
what'd she do to her?
I don't know!
She is
A witch!
Yeah, she is. She's a witch ostrich.
Yes, she's a witch.
An ostrich witch.
Yeah.
An ostrich witch. An ostrich witch.
So I come down and I like
Ostrich witch.
go to practice and I'm just kind of like standing there singing the song against my will. And I was wearing a tank top and yoga pants because, you know, I was doing dance like 10 minutes before. Miss Ostrich calls me out in front of the other girls and says, Cassidy, you need to put those away. Excuse me, I was 13 years old. I was 13 years old.
Put those away.
And I was a chesty young girl that, you know, but I was 13. I was a kid still. Put those away.
Why would you say it like that?
The older I get, the more angry I get about it because that's just so uncalled for to do that to anybody, but let alone someone who's 13 years old. After practice, she calls me over to her and she's just like, so she goes and she's just like, I cannot look at you from the waist down. And I'm just like, why? And she's like, I feel like you are naked.
Okay, well, why would she look at you from the waist down?
That's a good question.
Okay, you don't have to. My
I know.
face is right here.
I'm like, why? And then she's like, those pants, if you could even call those pants, are distracting. And I feel like you are naked with those pants. I feel violated by your yoga pants in particular. Cassidy! 13-year-old me was just, I don't even think I said anything. I was just like,
You're
okay.
just like, can I go home now?
I just wanted to go home.
She did something similar to my friend back then who also had like bigger boobs. She like went through puberty early, I guess. She was wearing a hoodie with like a cami underneath it and like she like had it zipped up, but like it kept falling, I don't know, but like her tank top was like pulled, like it wasn't that revealing, but she kept telling her to like pull, like zip it up. Like she was like conducting and whatever, and like she kept like going like like she wasn't smiling though. I'm just I just amused myself.
We went on like a weekend. The school tried to ban yoga pants. Me and these other girls, we decided we were gonna wear our yoga pants anyway, and I just remember feeling like so smug. Just like kicked down the door, and I was just freaking like Panic at the Disco, being like, she's just looking at me like, it was just so good. In 7th grade, this was one other thing that she did that was just really uncomfortable, and I don't know why she did this, just to like make young girls feel subservient to men, I guess, or boys or whatever. As the honors girls choir, we had to sing for the 8th grade graduation. Miss Ostrich decided that we needed to fluff the graduation gowns while people are wearing them. We had to like get down on our hands and knees and fluff people's gowns. That doesn't sound suggestive. I don't know what does. The boys were like laughing as their minds like out in freaking big mouth land.
Question.
Yes?
What the fuck?
And I actually took a guitar class with her, and Derek actually like took a guitar class with her too, but he's the grade above.
And
us.
I took that too.
He might have had his gown fluffed. I'm gonna have to ask.
You could have fluffed his gown.
I could have fluffed Derek's gown. No, could you just imagine just going out and being like fluff, 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 fluff.
The first interaction you ever had with Derek was fluffing his gown.
I'm gonna fluff your gown, my lord. What? 8th grade comes, and I'm ready to just ditch frickin' middle school. Like, that middle school had driven me to depression and bed. But I still enjoyed high C, and I still tried to, you know, I liked to sing, and I liked that we had more advanced choral songs, so I was like, okay, this is fun. Miss Ostrich, one day after practice, decided to pull me after school, and she, like, singled me out. She likes to do that. She likes to single out young girls. She just looks at me dead in the eye and she's like, you know, I know that you like to sing solos. I know you've gotten a lot of solos. I want you to know, this isn't the Cassidy show. I never said it was Miss Ostrich. No, just stop. This isn't the Cassidy show, right? This isn't the Cassidy show. This isn't the Cassidy show. All I did was do what you told me to do.
When she's the one that gave you the solos.
So she just decided just to have this burning hatred for me.
Because she felt the need to give Cassie the solos and then yell at her about it.
This is another story.
Another story that I've experienced with her. At the beginning of the year, you go around and the teacher calls your name, and then you get to say if you have a nickname that you go by or something that you prefer to be called. There were 2 Catherines in the class. I was one of them. Yes, my first name is Catherine. She came to me and she was just like, Catherine, and I was just like, I prefer to be called Kate. And she was just like, okay, cool. And then she got around to the other Catherine, and this Catherine, for many years, has gone by Katiana, and she preferred to be called Katiana. And so when she got to the other Catherine, she's just like, Catherine, and then she's just like, I prefer to be called Katiana. And then she just like kind of like looks up at her from her checkbook and was just like, no.
And it's like everybody's called this girl Katiana for years.
but like literally she's just like, but everyone's called me Katiana. She's just like, no, I'm calling you Catherine. Because she made it a point the entire year to call her Catherine, and she's just like, that's not what I want to be called.
She made all the choirs do this. One weird thing that she would do, like for our warm-ups, she would have us give each other back massages.
Oh my god!
It was like
and light back scratches! So literally we would turn this way and it would be like, okay, light back massage or whatever, and like turn and do this, and then she's just like, light back scratches now, and then you would like have to like do it, and then you had to switch, and you had to like go light back massage, right? Alright, and then light back scratch. And
does this not sound like an asylum?
So there was this warm-up that we did, and it was pretty normal, you know, it's something that, you know,
a lot of choirs do.
Alright, do you wanna do it? Alright.
Yeah.
The E, the A, the ah. Alright, I can hop on that.
Good for the kids.
Good for the kids. Until evening class. Good day class. Good morning class. Today, we are going to start with a warm-up, alright? The E, the A, the ah.
The ah.
Very good. Now, slower.
The ah.
Very nice, very nice. Slower.
The
Slower! Do you not know what slow means? I want you to go slower! Yeah, that's good.
There was that. That's not the worst thing. It's one of them, but it's not. When I was in 8th grade, she's like, hey guys, I'm really excited for this song.
Oh no!
And we all kind of were like looking at each other, like giving like each other like side glances.
Because if she's excited about a song,
we know that it's
ooh, it's gonna be bad.
Because the last song that she got really excited about was a song that she made the boys choir sing about duct tape, and all it was like duct tape, duct tape. Oh. She comes up with this like sheet music, and she's like, but you know, this is a benevolent dictatorship. I want to have you guys put your say into this song if you want to sing it or not.
No.
And we
right off the bat, just not even looking at it, just no.
So then we like look at the sheet music, and she didn't teach us how to sight read, so we're like, we can't read. She's like, okay, I'll play it for you. And here it goes. This is the song that she thought was like graduation worthy. You'll never get that back.
You'll never get that moment of your life back.
No.
And they didn't get that moment of their life when they were forced to sing it for a couple days back.
Yeah, we rose up against her and we're
It's
just
just
like,
like, no.
hey, we are not singing about someone being in a kitchen. Who sings about someone being in a kitchen? It's creepy.
Someone breaks into
Who's
my
there?
house and goes into my kitchen is, what do you think they're cooking in my kitchen, these people that aren't supposed to be here?
Like the ending thing for the arrangement that she got, the ending like chord thing was, is it you?
Oh.
It's like, if it was me, why would I sing a whole song about someone being in the kitchen? I thought I escaped, but then junior year of high school came around and I was, you know, feeling good about myself. I had met Kate. Kate was there. And Jewel was there too.
Jewel was there.
They came to see me in my high school choir concert stuff because they
We
had,
had graduated by then,
Yeah.
and we still wanted to support young one here, our child.
yes. Miss Ostrich happened to be there.
Oh yeah, she was all of them.
She was at all of them.
She was unwanted, but she was there.
She was saying hi to her former students. She looks me right in the eye and just like, doesn't say anything.
She ignored both me and her.
Yeah, but she sees Jewel, who did not go to our middle school, and she's like, oh, I missed you so much. How are you doing?
Oh my gosh, you've grown so much. And Jules is just like, I have never seen you in my life.
She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't go to that middle school. I went to a different
I didn't go to the
school."
middle school that you taught at. I went to a different one. And she's just like, oh. She
I
just
can't-
walked away because she was ashamed of herself.
We survived Miss Ostrich's lair. And you know what's funny
Yes.
too? Her classroom was like on like the lowest level of like the school too, so
It was, yeah, it was all the way in like
a corner.
A corner.
It was literally like set up like a layer. Anyway, if you like what you saw, please click like and subscribe.
Subscribe to see more of whatever the heck this was. Bye.
The last note of a song from Jerry and his fucked up